So we had a little bit of trouble visually recording this on our first half, but at least we've got it figured out for the second half. I'm not sure what all happened there. We just record on an iPad. We make it very, very simple for you to do this too, American Business. No problem getting involved with using digital marketing. This is an iPad on a tripod. Very simple. And we're back. This is Susan Hamilton, and you're listening to the OffBeat Business Show. Friends, we represent American business. The 80% of American micro to small business that tend to be family-owned businesses of 9 employees or less. That means we're building our business while we're raising our kids, taking care of our parents. Chances are we have a veteran in our family or workspace, and 30% of us have an addict in our family or workspace. Our business conversations are not your parents' or your grandparents' business conversations today, because today we need to be talking about taxation, health care, the Veterans Administration, and criminal justice in ways that have not been previously discussed. But when we realize who we are, we can. And so I want to share with you some of the best business tips that are really going to just kick off your 2017 and help you do a fantastic job. I'm having this wonderful conversation, if you've been listening to the first half, with John Bagwell with Bagwell Marketing. He's been in business since the dawn of time?
Almost.
Since the dawn of time.
50 years, 50 years plus. So.
Jiminy crickets. This man knows a thing or two, and he keeps his finger on the pulse of what's going on with your business online. And I've had the pleasure of interviewing him on several occasions. This is the first time we bring him to the OffBeat Business Show, and I'm really grateful to have him here because he is on the board of several local SEM.
DFW SEM.
And
I have been on the board.
Yeah.
One of the founding board members.
Yeah, that's amazing. I mean, people tend to think that when you've had this many years in business that you may be outdated in your approach, but I have not found that at all. I would definitely tell anyone, use someone who knows this space because they're going to help you now. And you know this space more than anything, and you've had your fingers on what's going on with online marketing in a way.
Absolutely.
We really haven't talked about that too much, and we need to. So tell us right now what we can do. That's so amazing.
Well, I think one of the things that small businesses do, if they're not careful, is they overreach for who they want to attract. And
you mean my customer isn't everybody?
Your customer is not everybody. It shouldn't be everybody because it's difficult for any business to handle everybody. When you think about trying to reach everybody within the community, it's very difficult, especially in the Dallas-Fort Worth area.
But everybody needs plumbing, and everybody needs HVAC.
That's true. That's true. Everybody does need some of those things, but there are people within. Sometimes it's geographic. For example, if you are a plumber and you're in Mesquite, you probably don't want to take a job in Wichita Falls.
Mm-hmm.
And even within that, often people will specialize in a particular type: residential, commercial, maybe new homes, maybe repair. So whatever your actual audience is, and I like to have people define that as clearly as possible, by age, by sex, by whatever demographics there is. And then you need to figure out a way to reach those people. Mm-hmm. And the internet really allows for some really good target audiences. And we have now what was called programmatic advertising, which means that we can serve up ads directly to your best prospects. For example, you have a website and people visit your website. We can capture that. We can capture people that have visited your competitor's website. And then we can also tell by what people are searching. So if someone is searching at 2:30 in the morning, busted water heater, we're going to know that, and within seconds we can start serving ads up on various websites from CNN, ESPN, other sites. So we can serve up exactly what needs to be served up to reach your exact target audience.
Even on competitors' websites,
Even
what
on
I thought
competitors'
was
website,
fascinating.
Which is interesting. I mean, we know when somebody's been to your competitors, and that makes for kind of an interesting technique. And so somebody may be looking at you, your competitor may be looking at you, so it might be time for you to get on board on this before your competitor does.
Oh, darn tootin'. I love that. It's so important for us to stay front and center because it's out of sight, out of mind, right?
Absolutely.
And those options are actually something that are much more affordable and much more effective than traditional PPC.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Generally you need to spend about $2,500 a month to do that, which is a little high for some small businesses, but it's very, very effective, and we can serve that up on a cost per click, basically, so you're only paying for people that are actually going to your website.
Right, and if you use that strategically for a certain period of time, and I always tell people to go about at least 3 months with the program, so that they can really tell what's going on. But if they stay with the program, something like that, for even 3 months of the year, that you can see a huge, significant difference, and you may decide to continue. But just know you really do need to look at your marketing budget entertaining this.
Well, of course, one of the things too is to know how much you can spend to get a customer. I talk with a lot of clients, sometimes big customers, and you ask them, well, how much is a customer worth? And it's sometimes like the deer in the headlight. Well, I don't know.
Well, people struggle with defining that.
Sure.
So help us with that.
Well, look at how much you're willing to spend and how much you can spend based upon the people that are going to come to your website and what's the customer's worth. In some cases, you can use the lifetime value of a customer, because if somebody, you may be willing to pay $30 to get somebody because they're going to come back every 2 months or 3 months or whatever. In the case of Mary Kay, if you're selling Mary Kay, you get a customer, you pretty much know they're going to come back for quite some time. Plumbing, if they have a busted water heater, they may not have another busted water heater for 2, 3, 4, 5 years.
But other issues
But there could be other issues that could come up too, and if you have a positive experience, then you're going to come back to them too. So look at how much a customer is really worth, and sometimes it's a little difficult to do that, but we have some formulas and stuff that we work with customers to help them identify that.
Well, do you want to share anything with us about that?
Well,
how you might identify that?
It gets a little bit complicated, because we have to sort of look at how long they've been in business and a few other things in there, but it's basically just deciding, can we spend this kind of money on this, and what is it worth?
And really, there isn't a customer, if you come to the table with bringing the excellence, bringing the best, and determined to satisfy that customer, that client at the highest level, you should always assume that this is going to be a lifetime customer, a lifetime client. That's the way you should approach it anyway. So when you're looking at your marketing, at how you want to go forward, I say list everything that you can do, and then look at where your peaks and valleys are, even in your traditional year, which I want to see people change their peaks and valleys.
Absolutely. And I have customers, I still do a lot of television advertising, I do radio advertising, we do direct mail. Direct mail is still big. A lot of companies have stopped doing that. I have several accounts in the rent-to-own business, and we send out flyers every week. People walk into the store, they bring the flyer in, and they say, I want this exact couch, and they know it's working. So I say look at a variety of things. I very rarely try to put my clients in one particular type of advertising.
Oh, good. Good. Myself included. I'm the same way.
If you get them into something that works, that's good. Now, we have clients in the direct mail that just will not take any of their budget out of that direct mail at all. And that's good, but there may be something out there that also might deliver better. But at the same time, if you're driving customers in and you get them into a store at $10, $15 a lead, it's kind of hard for a customer, a client sometimes, to turn around and say, oh, I want to try something different here that might cost me 5 times as much. So.
But it doesn't always stay that way either. That's why that A/B testing is so important when you're looking at the direct mail. And I don't hear a whole lot of people talking about doing that anymore, and I'd like to hear more about it, for sure.
Yeah, we do a lot of testing. Yeah.
It's so important to make sure you're sending out a couple, because sometimes that variation is just a simple thing.
Sure.
Just a placement or a color that can make all the difference in the world. But being so, having these wonderful opportunities to get your brand and your business in front of as many people as possible using just an exposure focus. You want to make sure your name is everywhere, your business is everywhere, because that is interpreted by your audience, and anyone who ever touches that pen, geez, if your name is on a pen, that's going to have at least 8 lives, or if it's a good pen. But that's the difference here. That's the difference that I see, is you can purchase these things and they are cheap or broken or not working. My very first pen order they were just, I would say, 70%. That didn't even work. You couldn't click on them. Who would use that? And you couldn't read the side. Why didn't this business owner help me understand that it was not legible to do what I wanted to do? That's where I think the experience that you bring to the table makes such a big difference, as I clearly see with the orders that we place with you now.
And we're doing your cups.
Well, you'll do all my stuff. I can guarantee you that.
Thank you.
I want to know somebody who is going to let me know when I've got a bad idea.
And promotional products are good. The promotional products are the keychains, coffee cups, things along that line, calendars, something that has your name on it. And when I first got into business, I didn't care much for promotional products.
Oh, yeah?
No, I didn't. And in fact, first got into it, first started my ad agency. I did a campaign for a bank, had this wonderful jingle, had the great TV commercial. We even had some budget in there. We could fly in a helicopter, all this great stuff. And when I presented it, he loved it. And then he said, oh, by the way, can I get some coffee cups with my logo on it? And I thought, coffee cups, I'm doing coffee cups. Good grief, we just did this great TV commercial. It was wonderful. I'm creative. How creative can you be on a coffee cup? And so I did the coffee cups for him, and then he ordered some more. And it took me years and years to really figure out that, the coffee cups, the pencils, the ink pens, all these things that have your logo on it, they work. Yeah. And they work as well sometimes as TV and radio. For a creative person in an ad agency, sometimes it's like, oh my gosh, do we have to do more coffee cups? But they work.
See, I'll be your nightmare like that, because I dig coffee cups. John, can you, before we go, we're almost out of time, but I'd love it if you'd share the funny story about the toilet paper.
Oh, yes. Well, direct mail is something that we've done quite a bit of, and at one particular time we were trying to get business in our advertising agency. So we had a list of about 250 businesses in the Dallas area that we thought would be good prospects, and so we got toilet paper and had a roll of toilet paper, and on the top of it we put a little insert that said, when it hits the fan, give us a call. And we sent it out and got about 3 or 4 calls from people that were just disgusted. That's the most disgusting thing I've ever heard. I would not buy anything from you. And we sort of panicked and thought, well, maybe we pushed the envelope too far. A year and a half later, I get a call from a lady, and she says, it hit the fan today. And I said, pardon me? And she said, my boss just fired the advertising agency 5 minutes ago, came in and said, we need a new agency. We need one this afternoon. And I've had this roll of toilet paper on my desk for a year and a half now. And I called you. And we got the account. It was a home builder, and we had a pretty good run with them. It's a nice size account.
That's awesome.
Because she kept it.
John, how can people reach you?
They can reach me at bagwell.com. That's very easy. BAGWELL.com. And all of our services are there on the website.
Wonderful. Friends, you'll have all this information underneath this video and on his podcast page. And you can always find our lineup, our replays, our podcasts, in other words, our magazine, all of our event information, everything that you need to know to be stronger in business at offbeatbusiness.com. Until next time, you've been listening to the Offbeat Business Show.